John 6. After these things, Jesus went over to the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias, and a great multitude followed him, because they saw his miracles, which he did on them that were diseased. And Jesus went up into a mountain, and there he sat with his disciples. And the Passover, a feast of the Jews, was near. When Jesus then lifted up his eyes and saw a great company come unto him, he said unto Philip, Whence shall we buy bread, and that these may eat? And this he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he was going to do. Philip answered him, 200 pennyworth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them may take a little. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said unto him, There is a lad here, which has 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes. But what are they among so many? And Jesus said, Make the men sit down. Now there was much grass in the place. So the men sat down, in number about 5,000. And Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed to the disciples, and the disciples to them that were set down, and likewise to the fishes as much as they would. When they were filled, he gathered up he said unto his disciples, Gather up the fragments that remain, that nothing be lost. Therefore they gathered them together, and filled 12 baskets with the fragments of the 5 barley loaves, which remained over and above until them that had eaten. Then those men, when they had seen the miracle that Jesus did, said, This is of truth that prophet that shall come into the world. When Jesus therefore perceived that they will come and take him by force to make him a king, he departed again into a mountain himself alone. This is so prophetic into what Jesus Christ is going to do in the last days. It only took 5 loaves and 2 small fishes to feed the great multitude that was following Jesus. Once again, we have to remember Hebrews chapter 10. For the law, having a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things, can never, with those sacrifices which they offer year by year continually, make the comers thereunto perfect. Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves, and were filled. Labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you, for him has God the Father sealed. So you see, this miracle that Jesus Christ did is just a shadow of a greater thing that he's going to do, especially in the latter days. So now comparing John chapter 6 with Revelation 7, in John chapter 6, we saw a great multitude that was following Jesus. And Jesus went to a mountain with his disciples. Revelation 14:1, and I looked, and lo, a Lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. We see the 12 tribes of Israel being sealed, and after that, I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. Remember when Jesus told his disciples to go get the donkey, and then they laid their clothes on top of it, and he sat on it, and he was on his way to Jerusalem, and the people cut palm branches, and they were saying, Hosanna, the son of David. In Revelation 7, we see that this great multitude is clothed in white robes, and they have palm branches on their hands. And they also cried with a loud voice in Revelation 7:10, Salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And these angels that stood, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 22, and we could confirm that this is Mount Zion. But ye are come unto Mount Zion, and unto the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to an innumerable company of angels, to the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to God the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect, and to Jesus the mediator of the new covenant, and to the blood of sprinkling that speaketh better things than that of Abel. In Revelation 7, one of the elders asked John, "Who are these that are clothed in white robes that have palm branches?" And this elder told John, "These are the ones that have come out of the great tribulation." Revelation 7:14, and he said to me, "These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living fountains of water, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes." You notice what it says? He shall feed them. In John chapter 6, when Jesus fed the great multitude with 5 loaves, 2 fishes, that was just a shadow of the things that are to be. Another loud cry from this multitude is in Isaiah chapter 2, "And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come, ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem." And this is the conclusion of the whole matter. Revelation chapter 22. Then the angel showed me a river of the water of life, as clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb, down the middle of the main street of the city. On the either side of the river stood a tree of life, bearing 12 kinds of fruit, and yielding a fresh crop for each month. And the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations. No longer will there be any curse. The throne of God and of the Lamb will be within the city, and his servants will worship him. They will see his face, and his name will be in their foreheads. There will be no more night in the city, and they will have no need for the light of the lamp or of the sun, for the Lord God will shine on them, and they will reign forever and ever. So you see here, the Spirit and the bride say, "Come. Come to the living waters. Come to the tree of life. Come get these leaves for the healing of the nations." Therefore, you could say also, "Come. Come to the living waters." Make sure you share this and be blessed. Shalom.